Mr. Vern Sullivan used to invite and host some of his Cajun friends that he called Coon from Lafayette, Louisiana, Mr. Dutch Schaefer and some others, to come up and go deer hunting. And they had the first, quote, motorhome, end quote, that I ever saw. And it was made from a Greyhound bus or a Trailways bus. And it was pretty cool. So Bill and I, Mr. Vern's son, Bill and I were there listening. We were all ears listening to his daddy tell stories and them tell stories. And the game wardens came by and they were all having some liquid refreshment. Game wardens, Mr. Vern, the Coon all of them. And we were just looking and listening. And about that time, it was probably about an hour after dark. Mr. Vern called us outside, meaning me and Bill. And he said, I want y'all to go down and get a deer and bring it back up here and skin it. And we're going to feed these game wardens some fried deer steak. Well, you got to understand, this was about probably 65 or 66, I would say at the latest, maybe 67. So to shoot any kind of deer out of season back then was almost a hanging offense. To shoot a doe at all was probably a hanging offense, and to shoot one at night, that was a firing squad offense, or it seemed that way. So me and Bill, in my daddy's International Scout with my daddy's 30-30 rifle that I probably wasn't supposed to have anyway, that he had won in a golf tournament at the Confederate Oil Invitational in Natchez several years before that, 30-30 Winchester lever action. So Bill got up in the back of the Scout. It was a half cab Scout, white top, tan bottom. And he got up in the back with the rifle and the light, and I was driving. And the signal was a little tap on the roof, although it would have sounded more metallic, just light to let me know I needed to stop. And so we got up on top of the hill, the big high bank overlooking the river that everybody called Vern's office. It was one place he liked to hang out. You had a beautiful view of the river, and you could see where Middle Fork Creek came into the river, and just a pretty place. And that's about where we were. And Bill tapped lightly, and all of a sudden, thwack, I heard that gun go off right over the hood. And I couldn't see what he was shooting at. He was shooting in some bushes not too far away, just in front of us and to the right a little bit between us and the riverbank. And I said, you get him? He said, I don't know. Well, when Bill shoots, most likely he's got a deer or a squirrel or whatever whatever he's shooting at. He was one of the best I ever saw at hunting game. So all of a sudden I heard a second shot, and he jumped out. I put the thing in neutral and went over there with him. He ain't killed one deer, he killed two deer. We threw him up in the back of the Scout, and we headed back up there. We weren't worried about the game warden stopping us because they were all up there having some refreshment. And so we were right behind the bus, skinning these deer out. And the first tenderloin we cut out, they handed it off to them, and they was in there cooking. We could smell it cooking. Well, I told this story years ago, and I said, I'm not worried about being prosecuted because the game wardens ate all the evidence. Oh, me. That was quite an evening. It's not every day you feed the game wardens illegally spotlighted deer. And you can throw all the rocks at me you want to, but it's a true story, and it was funny at the time. And trust me, from the deer population we have, it certainly didn't hurt them. It was classic Vern Sullivan. It was Vern versus the game wardens. That was an ongoing theme, and he won most of the battles because on his property the only two seasons were salt and pepper.